Hello my dear Cancer, I'm Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel Todayenergy, and this is a monthly forecast for you, Sun, Moon and Rising sign Cancer for the upcoming month of August. So let's see what the month will bring us, astrologically speaking. First days of the month are quite wild. We have a triple conjunction of Mars, who wants action, Uranus, who wants freedom and independence, and the North Karmic lunar node Rahu, who wants development and jump into the future and the progress. And this all happens in Taurus in your 11th house. So wow, you might meet so interesting, unconventional, maverick people who can teach you so many new things. You might suddenly join some political or non-political groups and organizations. These people might be quite rebellious, yeah, with Uranus here, which all summer long talks about protests and revolutions and so on. Maybe though it's an IT group, maybe you are interested in learning some computer languages, or you are already knowing them and you join some international corporation to work there, and you meet of course a bunch of new colleagues. Even though you and your friends want some development right now, completely change and so on, it's impossible at the moment, because on the 7th we have Mars squaring retrograde Saturn in your 8th house in Aquarius. By the way, you can check on my channel. I have a video, separated and thorough video, only about Saturn retrograding till the autumn, about each sign, how it will affect everyone. But in this case, of course, Mars 11th house, this friends of yours, or this community which you are part of, maybe your tribe, your like-minded people, are very fighty and impatient. But Mars in your 8th house, that might be your personal partner. So he might be like, are you sure you want to join these guys? Maybe you should reconsider to joining this company. Maybe 8th house, it's usually our therapist, psychologist, or the kind of the astrologer, or some esoteric consultant, or our own subconsciousness, which is telling us like, maybe you should wait first, maybe that's not the right people for you, those are not the right people for you. But also that might be your own fears, because 8th house is the internal shadow. And of course the shadow brings a lot of it's a treasure when we know about it, but when we don't, it's like a monster that is stopping us. Don't do that because it's dangerous. Don't do this because they don't respect you. Maybe it tells you that you shouldn't join some group of people because of your own inner childhood traumas and fears, and you have to address them, you have to deal with them. Saturn goes retrograde, so do some internal work. Also, it might be about finances. Maybe this group of people wants you to join some shared resources, to, let's say, everyone pays to rent a space in which you can all teach yoga, for example, right? But it's about to negotiate a loan with the bank, whether they will support you and so on. So it will take time. Most probably this activity with others, and maybe it's related to psychology or to finances, will come to fruition already in the autumn. So yeah, Saturn is cooling down people's enthusiasm. A bit of a party pooper. Also, maybe 11th house is your incomes from your career, from your profession. Maybe you're changing jobs and you're waiting for your old salaries to be paid for you, but maybe you'll have to wait a little bit just longer. Also, Saturn in 8th house asks you to pay your money and give what you owe back to people that you borrowed from. On the 4th, Mercury goes into Virgo, and that's for your 3rd house. Mercury classically rules 3rd house because it's all about communication, studies, online activity, forums, blogging, travel by car, by bus, somewhere nearby, short distance travels, meeting people, sharing experience, learning. So basically your mind is busy with those areas of your life. Maybe you're opening a website, maybe you're meeting with other people online and you establish your own community, like The Witcher fans, for instance, in your city. Or Stranger Things. I just love these TV shows. What else? Yeah, third house, Mercury there, good for online business and for trading. Then on the 9th, we have an intense day for women especially, because Venus, representing women, is opposing Pluto, who represents power, control, taboo topics, hidden issues, violence, unfortunately, as well. So also Pluto, who tends to pile up those secrets, eventually he's the one as well who cannot stand them any longer. He demands clarity and honesty. And so he is like a detector with a magnifying glass who also reveals this all. So there might be in the public space around the 9th revelations about strong women, women in politics, women in business, or about abuse against women too, and discrimination. Of course, also Venus is money and Pluto is the big money, business, control, banks, government mafia as well. So maybe we'll hear about some financial schemes by the government, for example. But in your case, Venus is in your first house, so that's kind of you. That's your desire for love, for diplomacy, for flirts, for pleasure, for relationships. But across, you meet Pluto. Now, Pluto on one hand can mean that you meet Plutonic type of people, Scorpios, detectives, policemen, businessmen, governmental representatives, people with power. And sometimes it's good, but sometimes you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, right? Especially if they try to push on you some agenda, or you're trying to find dialogue with them because it's an opposition, first 7th house, so you have to meet in the middle. But then these people are so like obstinated, because Pluto might not move an inch from what they decided to have or to own or to fear. Or maybe you notice that your partner becomes a bit paranoid or a bit obsessed with something, or maybe they just deal with their own psychological problems. So your task is to just be next to them and ask them if they need any help by any chance, because maybe they are digging deep into their past and childhood and subconsciousness and so on and so forth. So dealing with their own demons basically. But also be careful around the 9th if you already know that you have a bit more aggressive partner, or you had some troubles with your business partners, or some corporation is trying to push your small business, knock it down. Then of course you should take the precaution and measures about this. But by the way, it can be also pretty positive, frankly, especially financially, especially about business deals and negotiations, especially about maybe finding or working with a financial consultant or a psychologist, because 7th house is everyone who is assisting us, helping us, working for us. It might be also your opponents in a court. So there is something, most probably, think back, December 2021 until March this year, then Venus was conjunct Pluto 3 times. She was retrograde in Capricorn, in your 7th house. So you started maybe back then some collaboration, cooperation, partnership. Maybe you met someone, or you were like setting intentions to meet the perfect person for you. And now, when the planets are opposing, it's like a full moon. It's seeing clearly where you have reached with your partner, what you have achieved. Is it good? Do you continue? Or do you course correct? Or do you end this? Maybe it's not the right thing for you, right? That's why we say that full moons and oppositions can be moments of negotiations, of clarity, of endings, culminations, or reaping rewards. Maybe now you get engaged with this person you started a relationship last winter. Or maybe you discover some deep, terrible secret about them and you just decide they have to deal first with their own basement of their subconsciousness. We're all humans, right? We have the right to do this. The last thing I should warn you here about is this psychological issue. Sometimes we tend to project. It's called projection, we project our own desires or fears onto the other. And here maybe you're projecting your lack of love, your fear to lose respect, your fear of financial insecurity, your fear of being abandoned on the partner. So maybe they don't abandon you, maybe they just need time to work, you know, and to earn money, but you might be the one who is struggling with some inner issues. So be thoughtful about this. What you see in the others, is it a reflection of you or is their own baggage? Yeah, business deals can be very, very financially successful here. Now, on the 11th, Venus goes into Leo, so bringing you good financial possibilities. It's great to work on your self-esteem. Maybe you did find a coach like Tony Robbins, you know, or someone less expensive possibly, but Pluto in 7th house is like the ultimate Tony Robbins coach, you know, the ultimate business partner, Don Corleone like from The Godfather. But anyways, now you can really improve, because Venus is the money and she goes to your 2nd house of money, of work. Maybe your work will be very pleasant. Maybe you will work with women. Maybe you're the psychologist who is consulting women after some bad experiences. And great for self-esteem, and as well great for spending money because Venus likes to delight herself, yourself in this case, by buying something for you, maybe for your home or for your friends and group activities. All right. Yeah, so on the 12th we have a full moon at 19 degrees of Aquarius, with the participation of retro Saturn here in your 8th house. So of course full moon is a clarity about your finances, about your loans, about your business investments, about your shared resources, about your spouse or partner's income, what's going on with their job. Maybe their Pluto transformation is that they quit job, or maybe they upgraded their career and now receive even better money, but possibly there is some delay because it's with Saturn retrograding. So there you need time more to wait for your investments to pay off. Maybe your partner needs time to show at work their skills and yet to receive their promised raise, for example. So yeah, there need to be patience, and you need a serious approach to as your investments and maybe property and whatever brings you money outside of the scope of your career and profession. Of course, it might be about also pregnancy and children, so you probably need to do some examinations and so on to become pregnant. Or it might be time to work with your own psychology, your own fears, internal demons, and pass through this powerful inner transformation. Of course, thanks to some specialists here as well. At the same time, the luminaries are squaring Uranus and Rahu in your 11th house. This impatience to join this group. Maybe it's a group of a support of other women, of people who also pass through, let's say, I don't know, God forbid, but home abuse or something like this. So you need these people, you need to be in this group online or offline. So these people think very in a different way, like genius people. They're very rebellious, so you might learn a big deal from them. On the 20th, Mars goes into Gemini, and that's your 12th house. And usually Mars spends 2 months in a sign, but because he will be retrograding in the autumn, so overall he will spend in your 12th house 7 months. That's more than half of a year. That's a lot of time. So there is something you need to do with your subconscious 12th house. Again, we talk about cutting. Mars is like a knife, scissors, cutting off your fears, your worries, your insecurities, your self-sabotaging habits. You need to dig and to be brave. Yeah, Mars is a soldier, it's a general, he's brave, he's ambitious. You need to dig deep into your childhood years, prenatal time, past lives, with doing regressions, constellations, some spiritual practice. Maybe you want to go on pilgrimage, like do Camino de Santiago. It's many months, you have to walk and walk and walk, and people say they don't come again the same as they went on Camino de Santiago, this northern Spain pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela. So yeah, it's time for you to deal with your subconscious blockages and fears, to cut out everything unnecessary, to spend more time in isolation, actively, Mars is active, actively meditating, maybe doing some Tai Chi, some Kung Fu, yeah, some spiritual practices, but also with movement, getting rid of even healthy bad habits, physical bad habits. Go to retreats. Go to hiking in a mountain, for example. Overcome your fears, maybe of heights. Right, so that's Mars in 12th house. Then the Sun goes into Virgo on the 23rd, and Sun is of course the light, the focus. Onto your 3rd house, travels, online activities, trading, friends in internet, your close environment, your neighbors, your relatives, siblings. Maybe you travel somewhere with them, maybe you change the neighborhood, or you open an online travel blog, for instance, because also 12th house could be about exotic lands. So maybe you're going to Asia for several months backpack trip, right? And now Sun is like, how will I travel? Where will I get tickets? Am I hiring their motorbikes or some other vehicles, right? Also learning, studying, 3rd house. Maybe you need to refresh some skills, maybe you need to learn new skills, maybe you need to study some courses online. On the 24th, Uranus stations to go retrograde. It's a very slow planet, it's an outer planet, unlike Mercury, who stations and turns directions in one day. Uranus is like hanging there, stuck on the sky for about at least 10 days. So the last 10 days of August, we all collectively feel Uranian energies. We all feel impatience. We all feel like bursting out, like making a protest, a revolution. Especially it might be connected to Taurian topics: food, supply chain, money, finances, value system overall in the world, products, genetics, yeah, Uranus, space, travels, astrology, astronomy, science, modern technologies, chipping, and so on. And for you though, it's 11th house, so you might join a group of such people who talk about these conspiracy theories or who are rebellious. Maybe you're joining a political organization who wants change. Young people, here is also Rahu, the North karmic lunar node. It's about younger, progressively thinking generation, so you're joining them. Maybe you're going to teach at school as a teacher of informatic technologies, or maybe you're joining a club of IT specialists, or video game lovers. Right, so on the 26th, Mercury goes into Libra, and that for you is 4th house. So a lot of negotiation, communications about property, maybe new roommates, maybe meeting with parents, kids at home, maybe you meet your nieces, nephews, or there is a news about children in your family. Maybe there is a relocation, change of place of living, or dealing with documents about property. On the 27th, we have a new moon at 4 degrees of Virgo. So that's your 3rd house. New moon, new neighborhood, news from siblings, new car, new social page, blog in internet, new trip, of course, possible too. Luminaries square Mars in your 12th house, so maybe you feel a bit impatient and aggressive. Maybe they're aggressive exchange of replies online. You should not waste your time on haters, honestly. At the same time, the good news is that this Mercury is trining Mars in your 12th house. So as if you are supported by your parents, your family, or by your memories from your past, from your childhood. This regression maybe returns you back to some dear feelings of yours, and you realize how special you are, how loved kid you were, how much love and support you have received by your ancestors, by your grandparents, parents. So this is something that holds you and supports you. And also, really, 27th, Mercury trines Mars, sharp mind, good negotiation skills, clear self-expression, good judgment of the situation. So that's a good day, mentally speaking. 27th, 28th, we have kind of this activation of this ongoing square between Saturn and Uranus. This square goes like since last year, and the last peak of it will be this autumn. And who is activating it now? Venus. Venus in Leo in your second house. So Venus, who wants to earn money and to spend money, to get beautiful dresses, dinners, pleasure, furniture, anything pretty, beautiful. Venus, who wants higher self-esteem, who tells you you are valuable as you are, you have great skills, ask for bigger salary, you know, more money, ask for more payment from your clients. But across opposite is Saturn in your 8th house, who is about fears, who is about criticism, self-criticism, or by parents, or by bosses, or by managers who try to put you down possibly, or you are asking for credit, a loan, scholarship, but Saturn in the 8th house puts some obstacles, ask you to bring more documents, more papers, and so on. So as there is this opposition, the both planets are squaring third planet, which is at the apex of this T-square, so-called T-square, and this third planet is Uranus in your 11th house. So Uranus is everything unexpected. It's you wanting to get free. Maybe you want to actually get free from this corporation you used to work in, from these people. You actually want to do your own business. And that's why you're applying for a loan, like a business support, maybe by the government even, right? Or maybe you want to join other people and make a collaboration with them. Like you're several like-minded friends who want to open a yoga studio or something like this. And again, it's about finances and values. It's about value your own skills to be equal as the others. Yeah, Uranus wants equality overall. So yeah, dear Cancer, this is how August looks like for you. Don't worry, the final resolution about your finances and about your group environment and friends and collaborations, it will come in the autumn. Thank you so much for watching and sharing my videos. I hope the information I provide you with is relevant for you. It's somehow useful and interesting. Thanks so much for liking my videos. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I noticed that our community is growing, which is lovely. I am so happy that we are more and more on my channel. I wish you a wonderful, successful, useful month of August. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.